Hey guys, it's Lefforge. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here today. We are going to be talking about Run Disney and specifically the differences between a regular Walt Disney World weekend and a Run Disney racecation on today's Run Day Monday. Okay, so as you probably know, I am in training for the Star Wars Half Marathon. And I am super excited. This past weekend was what we call a cutback week for me, so I didn't have a super long run this weekend. I did 8 miles last weekend before last. I have 10 miles coming up this weekend. Then I'll do 12 miles weekend after that, and then I'm ready to go. And this is, of course, in addition just to my regular 2 to 3 times a week of somewhere between 3 and 4 miles. So couldn't be more excited about this race. It is always such a great race weekend. I'm going with my girlfriends. We have so many great plans. And in fact, Sarah did all the planning for this weekend. So thank you, Sarah. Usually I'm the one who does all the planning for my family. So it's so nice when someone else does the planning for me. So it's definitely different when you're going down to Disney World to run a race as opposed to going down to Disney World just to tour the parks and ride rides and have fun. Of course, it's still Disney. Of course, there are so many great things to do and experience. But today we're going to talk about packing. We're going to talk about eating. We're going to talk about time management. And we're going to talk about kind of how you tour the parks and how you may want to approach it a little bit differently if it is a race weekend. So the first thing we're going to tackle is packing. Now, I know that this probably seems obvious, but it's already complicated to pack for Walt Disney World. Add into that you're going to be running a race or 2 or 3 or 4. And you really want to give yourself plenty of time to think that through. Now, I have done a Run Disney packing video, or maybe more than one. So I'll put a list in the playlist that has all of my packing videos right here so you can go and check that out. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with that. But, at minimum, you're going to need your running outfit, your running shoes, any, special hydration or nutrition needs that you have, your water bottle that you may want to take. Although Run Disney races usually have ample water on course, I do know people that prefer, to have their own water bottle to carry, your body glide. If it's going to be cold, your throwaway clothes, your hand warmers, all of those kinds of things to consider. Now, I am typically still able to do just a carry-on unless I'm not staying in a DVC resort. And that's because if I'm staying in a 1-bedroom villa, or like this time we're staying in a 2-bedroom villa, I have access to a washer and dryer, so I'm able to take far fewer clothes to make room for all that. And then you also have to make room in your luggage for what you're going to be bringing back. Because even if you don't do a lot of shopping, which I'll probably do a lot of shopping, yeah. But even if you don't do a lot of shopping, you're going to have your medal, or 2 or 3. You're going to have your race shirts, or 2 or 3. You're probably going to have, just a few other, like a Mylar blanket doesn't take up any space at all. But there's going to be stuff you're going to get. You may pick up some free things at the expo. You're going to want to leave some room in your luggage to bring things back. So packing looks very different for a Run Disney weekend as opposed to a regular Walt Disney World vacation. The other thing that's going to look different is your eating. Now, I love Walt Disney World food. I love the snack foods. I love the specialty drinks. I love the margaritas. I love all kinds of things about Walt Disney World food and drink, but I'm not going to imbibe in all of that necessarily before the race, or if I do, I'm going to be super careful. Here are some of the things that Jen Lefforge has to avoid before a race. Are you ready? No, really. Are you ready? Alcohol, sugar, fried foods, dairy. So pretty much everything that's fun to eat, I don't do before a race. Or if I do it definitely in moderation. Now, I learned this lesson the hard way. The first couple Run Disney weekends I did, I acted just like I normally do at Walt Disney World. I ate and drank as I normally do. And I know there are those of you out there that still do that. And boy, more power to you. For this girl, I do not feel my best on race morning if I have overindulged leading up to the race. After the race, all bets are off. After the race, all of those things can come in abundance and I'm not worried about it and I'm celebrating and that's great. But before the race, I'm going to want to be more conservative. This especially comes into play if you're traveling with other people, you're going to restaurants where maybe that's a little difficult. I will tell you that the Disney chefs are just kind of renowned for modifying things. So especially race weekends, usually if you say, listen, I need no sauces, or I need this to just maybe be a plain piece of salmon and a cooked potato, they may kind of go, really? But they will do what you ask. And if you're someone like me who has stomach problems when you race, there is nothing we won't do to keep that from happening. So I have had great luck. If you go and look at my trip reports, last time I did the half marathon, I ate at Ale and Compass. I got a really simply prepared fish, and it was just a really great meal. So just be a little on the careful side. Sarah and I have a great story. When we ran the Chicago Marathon, we went to this very nice Italian restaurant in Chicago, and I literally ordered noodles and butter. The waiter was like, okay, but you know what? That's just the way it goes sometimes. So definitely you're eating. The other thing that's going to be very different for a RunDisney vacation is how much time you're going to spend additionally than what you're used to for the RunDisney things. So this is going to include the expo, which generally the expo, especially if it's one of your first ones, you're going to want to spend a good amount of time there. I would allow 2-3 hours to explore the expo. I can get in and out now in maybe an hour, but that's only if I'm not spending a lot of time shopping. You do have multiple places that you have to go to get your various things. So you want to allow enough time. What you don't want to be doing is be anxious because you have some reservation to get to or a fast pass to get to, or worse, be getting notifications on your phone from your loved ones who are saying, where are you? Because you just don't need that kind of negativity in your life. You want to make sure you've created plenty of margin. I will also tell you that transportation to and from the expo is notoriously slow. So if that's a concern, this is one of those times I do recommend using Uber or Lyft because it's just really fast and you're sure you're going to get where you need to go. It's like anything with Disney transportation. You might walk up and there's a bus waiting, or you might wait 30 minutes. So my rule of thumb is kind of like, if it's not waiting when I get there, I'll do Uber or Lyft to and from the expo. And that's a really quick and easy process. The race itself is going to take way more time than you think. So let's say that you normally run a marathon in 2.5 or 3 hours. Keep in mind, that's just the race itself. We will leave our room at 3:15 in the morning. We are lucky if we get back to our room by 9:30 in the morning. So that's almost 7 hours. Is that 7 hours? Let's do math. 3:15, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so let's say 6 hours. Still, okay, fine. I was an English major. So 6 hours, that's a long time. And when you get back to the room, you're going to be tired. So again, what you really don't want is to have a fast pass you're rushing to, or a dining reservation you're rushing to, or loved ones waiting at Ohana because you made a 9:30 reservation and you realize that there's a 20-minute long, wait to get on the bus and there's no way you're going to be able to get there. I just think you want to create margin around that. You certainly don't want to schedule a flight for right after, but even just in your general touring. Another thing in relationship to time, you're going to be going to bed way earlier. So, the night before the race, you're not going to be super smart if you stay out for fireworks and then you try to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. So sleep takes up a lot more time, and you want to make sure you allow for the extra time it will just take for you to sleep and recover. So all of those things need to be factored into how you plan your race weekend. Now, my advice to people is always, if you're doing this as part of a family vacation, if at all possible, try to make the race at the beginning and the family vacation after. That way you don't have all these things that you're concerned about that are going to suck time away from your time with your family. The other thing that is going to be different for a RunDisney vacation is how you tour the parks. Now, you may be a person that loves to be, a rope drop to fireworks kind of a person, and that's how you do Disney, and you intend to do that for a race weekend. And if you can do that and not feel like garbage, then I am so proud of you. Congratulations. I cannot do that. I have to be very mindful of how much time I spend on my feet the day before a race. I don't want to be rushing around. I think we're doing Hollywood Studios on Saturday, so it's not as big of a park. I really kind of listen to myself and my level of fatigue. What you really don't want to do is go to Epcot and put 10 miles on your legs and then get up the next morning and think that you're going to run a half marathon and not have any consequences for that. And hear me when I say, I'm not trying to set a PR when I'm at Disney, although I did marathon weekend. But let's not talk about that now. I'm not going to try to set a PR typically for a Run Disney race, but I do want to feel good. I don't want to feel like I'm killing myself, and I really want to feel good afterwards. And part of ensuring that is giving myself enough rest on my legs and just kind of, you know, making it more of a leisurely experience in the days leading up to the race. And then again, after the race, be mindful of how much you're really going to feel like doing. Most of us typically will head to Epcot and just kind of wander around World Showcase. And that's nice because there's no rush, right? You can go to a country and get a drink and sit down and enjoy and chat with other runners. I would not want to leave a race and head straight to like serious Magic Kingdom running around park touring. I just think for me, I would get really cranky really fast. And that's just not a way that I want to enjoy my vacation. There is absolutely no reason to think that you can't soak up plenty of Disney magic during a Run Disney vacation. I just think you need to be aware that some things may be a little bit different than how you normally tour. Be realistic. Make sure the people around you are realistic. Have the best time ever. And if you're going to be there and you see me, please come and say hi. We should have race waivers and corral assignments and the course map and all of that in the coming week. So I'm hoping that on Monday, I'll be able to go over that with you guys for next week's Run Day Monday. So make sure you're subscribed and make sure you've hit that little bell notification so that you know when I put that up. If you liked what you saw today, please give this video a big thumbs up and comment below if you have any questions, or if you have anything that I should have put in this video about things that are different for a Run Disney vacation than a normal Walt Disney World vacation. I'm so glad you were here. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.